Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've ever found yourself hopelessly stuck in gridlock, trying to navigate between West and South Delhi, you are absolutely going to want to pay close attention to this one. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most ambitious infrastructure mega projects recently greenlit for the capital. We are going to decode the brand new Dwarka Vasant Kunj 6-lane road tunnel project. We'll unpack the massive engineering hurdles it faces and exactly how it aims to finally untangle the region's most notorious traffic knots. So, right off the bat, here is the ultimate puzzle city planners had to solve. What if you could completely bypass Delhi's absolute worst traffic, but do it without cutting down its most vital forest? Because, fixing this West-South Delhi gridlock, it isn't just a matter of pouring more concrete. It is an incredibly delicate balancing act between rapid urban development and essential environmental preservation. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the bottleneck itself, then look at the solution, map out the route, explore the engineering beneath the ridge, and finally, talk about the broader economic impact. Starting right off with part 1, the west-south traffic bottleneck. Anyone who regularly travels between Gurugram, Dwarka, the airport zone, and South Delhi already knows the daily nightmare I'm talking about. Right now, you're forced onto these highly congested surface roads. You're battling chaotic junctions and totally unpredictable delays around Mahipalpur and Nelson Mandela Marg. It's exhausting. But this new project, it promises a continuous high-capacity bypass. We're talking about fundamentally changing that commute from a frustrating stop-and-go crawl into a predictable, smooth journey. Moving to part 2, let's talk about the solution and the money behind it. To actually make that smooth journey a reality, the Union Cabinet has approved a massive intervention. We are talking about a staggering capital cost of exactly 6,969.77 crore rupees, nearly 7,000 crores. That is a huge, long-term strategic investment designed to literally alter the capital's transport geography. But you might be wondering, how on earth do you fund a project of this astronomical scale without totally draining public resources on day one? Well, that brings us to the financial engine running this whole thing, which is called the Hybrid Annuity Mode, or HAM for short. Under this framework, the government and a private concessionaire actually share the financing and construction responsibilities. It's a pretty brilliant way to reduce that massive upfront burden on the public exchequer, all while ensuring the government keeps strategic control over what is undeniably a vital corridor. And believe me, they need that strategic control because of the sheer volume of traffic we're talking about here. Once this thing is operational, this new route is expected to handle around 37,000 cars every single day. 37,000! That number alone tells you this is planned as a seriously high-capacity bypass. By pulling all those cars off the existing surface roads, it's going to save an incredible amount of time for both daily commuters and heavy airport-linked freight. Okay, part 3. Let's actually map out this new route. Let's take a quick virtual drive along this new NH148 AE alignment. Your journey kicks off at the Shivmurti Interchange right on the Dwarka Expressway. From there, traffic literally plunges underground into a twin-tube tunnel passing directly beneath the southern ridge. After that subterranean stretch, the route emerges into an elevated road along Nelson Mandela Marg. And the best part? Eventually, this will seamlessly link up with the Barapula Elevated Corridor Network, extending that smooth connectivity all the way out toward East Delhi and Noida. Now, this project is a whole lot more than just digging a hole in the ground. The total alignment spans 8.1 kilometers because of all its integrated moving parts. You've got 3.14 kilometers of main tunnel, sure, but then there's over 2.5 kilometers of elevated roadways, nearly a kilometer of surface roads, and extensive approach ramps. It even includes elevated U-turns for right-turn traffic. So it's not just a tunnel, it's a highly complex, fully integrated mobility corridor. Let's jump into part 4, engineering beneath the ridge. The surface logistics are impressive, for sure, but the subterranean engineering, that is where the true marvel lies. You constantly hear official briefings describe the southern ridge forest as the lungs of Delhi. And honestly, in a city that famously battles severe air quality issues, preserving that natural green cover is absolutely non-negotiable. That is exactly why any surface disruption, like, say, building a traditional open-cut road right through the middle of the trees, had to be completely avoided. So how exactly do you build a massive 6-lane highway straight through a forest without actually touching the trees? You use what's called a twin-tube structure. This involves boring 2 completely separate, parallel underground tubes deep beneath the earth, using massive tunnel boring machines, or TBMs. By digging deep beneath the environmentally sensitive Rangpui section of the ridge, the forest up on the surface remains completely untouched. To give you an idea of the precision here, out of the 3.14 kilometers of total tunnel, a full 1.98 kilometers passes strictly beneath the protected forest area. Planners deliberately engineered this alignment so that this deep underground section absorbs all the environmental sensitivity. It keeps the project's overall surface footprint incredibly limited. Finally, Part 5. Let's look at the broader economic impact. We've talked about the traffic relief and the cool engineering, but how does this physical stretch of concrete actually ripple out to benefit the wider economy? Well, first off, it directly connects 6 p.m. Gati Shakti economic nodes and 4 major logistics nodes. And in a dense, fast-paced city, predictable travel time is honestly just as valuable to businesses as faster travel. Second, just the construction phase alone is projected to create over 7.5 lakh person days of direct employment, plus nearly 10 lakh indirect person days. That is a massive injection of jobs, trade, and productivity across the board. Now, of course, getting to that big economic payoff takes time. The project is slated to take about 60 months or 5 years to complete. And let's be real, major road projects in dense cities inevitably bring short-term headaches. We're talking construction dust, frustrating route diversions, and localized disruptions. The ultimate success of this build will depend heavily on how well they manage traffic during these construction years, but if they can deliver it on schedule by year 5, this corridor promises a permanent release of pressure on Delhi's traffic network. Which leaves us with this final thought to chew on. With surface space rapidly running out across the country, is underground infrastructure literally the only future for India's dense megacities? The Dwarka Vasant Kunj tunnel is a perfect example of having to dig deep beneath the earth just to save what we have on top of it. It's a fascinating glimpse into the future of urban mobility. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time as we decode another massive topic.